It's Monday, and it's a crazy Monday to say the least. Lunch and News with DotSale. Yeah. We're going to go straight into our lunch because I have to feed y'all every day under every circumstance.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to show you how I make my... I've already
We're going to get straight into it, y'all. Straight into the food.
My delicious, creamy harissa butter beans. They are packed with protein, fiber, and...
I think this is her own special meal that she made, too. Let me just shout her out real quick. Her name is Shakayla. I think that's right. Shakayla Felice. She might say her name. Shakayla Felice is what I'm going with. As of this recording, many people know her name for sure because she has 291,000 subscribers. Wow. Shout out to her. Appreciate this video. We wanted to start off Monday and be really healthy. So I know you had to wait to eat. Hopefully you had a snack before this and now you can kind of fill up. But depend on where you're at in the world, you know, because we do get viewers from all over the world. You know, might be lunchtime for you no matter what. Some might be creeping up a little more on dinner right now, though, possibly. So you can add this for dinner, too, all right? We're making an exception today.
And it's an anti-inflammatory meal. I know that I've seen some requests for more anti-inflammatory meals, so this is the start to that series that I wanted to share with you. If there are any ingredients that you see in this recipe that maybe you're not a fan of or you're allergic,
I want to get straight to the ingredients.
if not all of them, at your local grocery store. But the main ingredient here that we'll be using are canned butter beans. Sometimes they do come in a box. You just want to drain them and rinse them. But if you would prefer to use dry butter beans and then soak them and cook them, you definitely can. I would just recommend getting low sodium ones like this. The next main ingredient for this dish is harissa sauce. If you're unfamiliar with harissa sauce, it's made up of peppers, chilies, garlic, oil, warm spices, but it has like a peppery tomato-like taste. I use mild harissa sauce because I can't handle too much spice, but this does also come in various heat levels, so it's completely up to you on which one you choose. I also included sun-dried tomatoes in this dish. The one that I use for this recipe does come in oil.
All right, we're going to speed this up a little bit.
The garlic broth. Now,
I wish we had more time to watch the whole process of this.
Or vegetable broth or more milk.
This looks really good, actually.
I prefer this to be a little bit more soupy almost and just a bit more creamy. And now if you want to get a little,
I want to go more creamy.
I enjoy doing, I drizzled some coconut milk on top.
I want the coconut milk. I'm not eating bread right now.
I'm digging in.
I'm gonna just eat it regular without the bread, but that looks so good.
I swear. I hope you try out this recipe. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think about it.
All right, let me give her video a thumbs up real quick. Where's it at? All right, let's add to the 89,000 likes. We're gonna click right there and give her a thumbs up because she deserves it. She just made a great meal for us. Let's get one more visual of it real quick before we jump into the news for today. Where do we have the visual at? Yeah, it's right here. I mean, incredible, man. Like, and she looks so happy making this meal. So, you know, shout out to her. Definitely go give her channel a like and subscribe if you would like to do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And we're going to use her again in the future because we didn't give her a lot of time like we usually do with the other creators. So I had a really crazy day today. And, you know, because of that, I had to kind of make a lot of adjustments to the show. But the one thing that we do not do under any circumstance is miss a show. No matter what is going to happen. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late, but it's going to happen no matter what. So what we're going to do today is we're going to just run through a few stories. And this is going to be part 1 of a part 2 series where we'll figure out everything else as far as tomorrow because I had a whole bunch I want to get through. So we're just going to do the teenager part of this because it was going to lead in basically from the crime that is what the younger generation is doing. And then it leads into how you got then young adults. You start teenagers, right? Then you get young adults and then you get adults and then you get older criminals where I want to get into that too, where you start to see a lot of white collar crime where they stop doing like smash and grabs and flash mobs and jacking people in the streets and all that. And then they start to begin to figure out how to finesse companies and embezzle money and different things like that. So this is actually going to be a series, but we're going to start here, and this one's going to be kind of a quick hitter. So let's get straight into it, and I appreciate everybody that's here. Y'all are incredible. Yeah, I don't even got my soundboard today, or I would give you the applause, but I'm going to give it to you live. We're going to do it like that. We're going to give y'all a real applause. We ain't even hitting the soundboard for it, all right? But I know y'all like the fun soundboard, so we'll get back to that tomorrow. Now, we have to get straight into it because I want to just we'll go through at least like 5 of these stories, depending on time, because we do have to always end on a positive note. So let's do it like this. Let's start here with teenage girl vanished in Hollywood. Vanished is the word. Wow. Let's go here. Now, let's actually do this one. Let's do this one. Yeah, because I want to say, it's not really a good trajectory. And let me actually pull the graphic up real quick. I'll just throw this graphic up here because, yeah, I want to have this up here for now. And we can just do it like that, right? Kind of got the school in the background, crime, graffiti, a lot going on. So let's start right here and see what's going on. Now, all these stories, by the way, are recent. These are all within the last couple of days. I think one might be up to like a week or 2 old. This is crazy, y'all.
The Hollywood Police Department is asking for your help finding a teenager reported missing. 17-year-old Denise Lotto was last seen around the 5400 block of Sterling Road. She was wearing a black hoodie, black shirt with denim blue short backpack. If you believe you've seen her or know where she may be, police want to hear from you.
Shots fired at an undercover officer chase.
So I just wanted to talk about Denise first, because we got like a lot of different things going on to the point where we got a 17-year-old girl missing, and I just think it's really bad. Like, and as we see these crimes that are committed, this is all going to be crime under the age of 18 for the most part. And it's just like, what are we doing with not only protecting our teenagers from the adults, because more than likely, and we don't know for sure what's going on, but at the end of the day, it's a 17-year-old missing. So if you got any information, I just want to put a little bit more publicity out to this, because we have this young girl missing, and that is absolutely awful. Okay, but it sucks because you don't even want to move on from that. You want to continue to talk about that until there's a resolution. But the problem is there's a 17-year-old suspect in custody now because he was shooting at police officers. Like, what are we doing? We got a 17-year-old missing. We got a 17-year-old shooting at police officers. Let's listen to the story.
From overnight, a 17-year-old is in custody after a SWAT scene at a Sharpstown apartment complex. HPD says the suspect shot at officers and a family member jumped from the second story trying to get away. Let's bring in Courtney Carpenter. She's live for us out there on Harbortown Drive where all of this happened. Hi, Courtney. What's the latest?
Hey, good morning to you, Rita. Well, this is no doubt a scary situation, of course, for the family members who were inside the apartment while this was happening, but also for the folks all around this apartment complex. HPD says they got the call around 8 o'clock last night, and they say when responding officers got here, they found a woman lying on the ground next to the apartment. She told them that she jumped to the ground from the second story trying to get away because one of her family members was inside shooting a gun. She told officers then that other family members were still in the apartment with him. HPD says they knocked on the door only to be met with gunfire. Thankfully, none of the officers were hit. HPD says they fired back, took cover, and called SWAT.
Upon arrival from SWAT, they were able to talk to the suspect inside, and he was able to turn himself in. While we were waiting for SWAT, though, 2 of the females were rescued from the apartment, from the second balcony, with the assistance of HFD and our police officers. We set up a ladder and were able to get them down from the second floor.
It's unclear exactly how many people were inside, but HPD says at least one child was there. The woman who jumped from the balcony was taken to the hospital with some minor injuries. They say the suspect also hurt his hand during the ordeal. Thankfully, though, police say everyone's going to be okay. This certainly is something that could have been much worse. At last update, police are still working to talk to family members and try to piece together what led up to this. Again, That suspect, just 17 years old. We will be checking in later on this morning to see what charges he'll face. Reporting live here in Sharpstown, Courtney Carpenter, ABC 13.
Just 17 years old, and he's getting into a shootout with police. He was slightly injured, it looks like. Nobody was hurt or killed, thankfully, in this situation, but you know, people talk about gun laws and different things like that. I actually don't necessarily, I mean, there's already laws in place, right? You can't own a firearm. Well, I think technically it's 18, right? But it's just like you can't own like a pistol before you're like, is it 21 or 25? I can't remember. But you can own like a long rifle or like a shotgun. You can buy it at like 18. So, I mean, technically he was only about a year away from going to buy his own firearm. And now he'll probably not be able to buy one at all unless they seal off his record as far as what he did in this situation as a juvenile and then allow him to get a firearm when he gets older. But it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. Now, you know, we see that nobody was hurt in this story, and I think that's a great thing. However, we do have stories where that wasn't the case. And we got to look at two teenagers, child charged in deadly shooting outside Ann Arbor strip mall. Is that Detroit? Ann Arbor? I think that's Detroit. 2 teens charged, deadly shooting. So we had one shooting that just happened that wasn't deadly. Police were able to get the suspect subdued before anybody was gravely wounded, but this wasn't the case. Let's check it out.
In a Local 4 update, 3 suspects now facing charges in Friday's deadly shooting at an Ann Arbor strip mall. 19-year-old Jamal Jones and 18-year-old Khalil Burton facing several charges. A juvenile suspect also remains in juvenile detention. That happened Friday afternoon near Packard and Platt. Investigators say this was a targeted attack. Police moved quickly to make the arrest and say there is no ongoing threat to the public.
A legal victim.
Yeah, there's no ongoing threat to the public, but
in a Local 4 update, 3 several charges.
But if you look right here at the graphic on the screen, 3 suspects charged, 1 juvenile, and 2 adults involved. But if you look at the ages, I mean, we're looking at Jamal, 19, Khalil, 18. And why they got like traditional kind of American last names, but their first names are more like, you know, they're more kind of like you would only see those names usually like in, you know, urban communities. You can call it the hood, the ghetto, like, you know, they got like the names like that, but then like the last name doesn't really fit. You know, like if you change the first name to John Jones, like it would be, or like Smith Jones, then you probably wouldn't understand that these are more than likely black kids. But then also it's in Detroit, so you know the likelihood of it being somebody black is high. But the crazy part about it is when you look at it, it's not even really mattering what the race is a lot. And I know there's a lot of people that like to race bait, but I'm seeing these crimes happening blanket across teenagers. Like I'm even seeing the Asian community getting involved in some of these crimes, and we're gonna look into that a little bit more. But it's kind of crazy. So now we're seeing this, right? And you're seeing the escalation, right? We're gonna continue to see this escalate as we continue to go in a little bit deeper. And now we have a teenager accused of firing shots at a man after confronting him for driving erratically. Like, what are we doing? This is crazy. This is crazy. Teenage road rage? Like, you should be happy to be on the road as a teenager, no? Like, when I first got I might get road rage now. Now I might get road rage after being on the road and experiencing drivers and nonsense for a long time. But as a teenager, I was just happy. I didn't even understand when I was driving on in the passing lane and there's somebody doing 40 miles an hour and not paying attention and cars are just whipping around and vroom, vroom, vroom. And they're just not even understanding that they're basically causing a traffic jam and possibly a dangerous situation. I didn't even care. I was just happy to be on the road as a teenager. But now you're seeing teens get mad and want to create this whole type of road rage. It's crazy.
Firing shots at a man who police say confronted him for driving badly. Good evening to you, Mayra Moreno.
Thanks for watching. I'm Jonathan Bruce. This is not the first time the suspect has been charged either. ABC 13's Mo Hyder with more details.
John is not only behind bars, but a Harris County judge says he violated multiple court orders from a previous case.
Devon John?
Just 19 years old, a senior in high school, Devon John finds himself in court again, this time for a felony charge for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Investigators say it happened on Tuesday outside his home on Pine West Court in Northeast Houston. John to confront him for, quote, driving erratically.
That gentleman, Mr. Gaitan, says that you got out of the truck, went inside the house, came out with a rifle and started shooting at him as he was driving away.
According to court documents, he told deputies he didn't have any guns, but after giving them consent to search, they found one in his truck. It goes on to say he admitted to arguing with the man, but denied shooting at him. That prompted deputies to question neighbors, according to the judge in John's probable cause appearance earlier this week.
So they went around and knocked on doors from your neighbors. And they found video from at least one neighbor's house that supposedly shows you chasing after Mr. Gaitan's vehicle, shooting at Mr. Gaitan's vehicle with a rifle.
Court records show the shooting happened at a time when he was already out on bond for a previous crime. In May, he was charged with making a terroristic threat to his ex-girlfriend, this coming nearly 2 years after he was convicted.
I didn't even know he did all that.
Unlicensed carrying of a handgun and sentenced to spending 51 days in jail.
There's a young lady, supposedly an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that. You can't have a handgun when you're under the age of 21. Can somebody confirm if it's 21 or if it's 25? I know it's at least 21. You can't have a handgun. You can buy a rifle, though.
Friend who claims that you were making threats to shoot up her house. You were saying things like, on my, texting her, on my way, got my Draco. You've got bond conditions in that misdemeanor case that include no firearms.
Misdemeanor
and a GPS
case.
device.
The judge says investigators could tell by reading the GPS that John violated a curfew order. He now faces a felony charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in the shooting case and is being held on a $50,000 bond.
See, his name's John. So it doesn't even matter. You could be named Jamal, Khalil, John, Mike, Alton. I don't know. I'm just making up. You give any name that you have, you can end up being a criminal at this point. It doesn't even matter. But my thing is this. So he ended up actually committing. We'll go back to him. He ended up actually already letting people know what he's capable of. They allowed him back on the street. They did have a GPS monitor on him to try to continue to track him. But and how do you even stop this, right? Do you have to wait till somebody actually commits the crime? Or when he's showing signs that he's going to be a violent criminal, do you have to just get him off the streets? You know what? I think we need to try to brainstorm and come up with a way to prevent these things. I think people that want to be violent and do things like this, they had him in a text message. He was dead to rights. Like, they got his literal phone with him texting that he's going to shoot them up with the Draco. I mean, that's crazy. I need my soundboard. And then, subsequently he continues to do crime. But I think that these people should just have to go to war. Since you want to be a person that wants to go out and commit crime, you're going to be in peak physical condition at the age of 19. He looks like he's in great shape, not overweight. He looks like he can pass pretty much any physical test. Send him off to war. Let them go shoot up whoever they want to. There's plenty of wars going on, although they're saying that Trump right now, shout out to him, is about to get the oh, no, they already gave it to someone else. They already gave it to some. They're saying it should have went to Trump, the Nobel Peace Prize, because he just released a whole bunch of hostages and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. I know what's going on out here. But, yeah, I think they should just go to war. Like, I mean, honestly. Then you can go out there and shoot your guns all you want. That might be a good solution. They need to let me I need to get into the government. I need to be able to work. Remember how they brought Elon in for Doge? They need to bring me in just to try to help figure out what's going on with teenagers and the crime and try to prevent them from becoming insane, crazed adults. School in Detroit's West Side resumes class after stabbing, second time in Detroit in the last couple of days.
Here at 6:04, back to school for the students and staff at Gompers Elementary Middle School. The school is reopening after a student was stabbed allegedly by a classmate last week. That student's still recovering.
Right. Now, the school closed on Thursday and Friday to evaluate safety measures. Priya Mann is live this morning with how educators are trying to make the kids feel safe and kind of boost their spirits coming back into school this morning.
Yeah, that's right. There's going to be a community clap-in happening just after 7 o'clock as these students return to classes. As they walk through those front doors, there will be a host of people from Detroit City Council members to community members to the district here welcoming those students back as new safety measures will now be enforced.
So to just get that phone call from my child, and it's something, this devastating, it's been a very, very overwhelming, emotional week for us.
Jaslyn Morgan's daughter should have been safe in school. Instead, the girl was stabbed multiple times, allegedly by another student at Gompers Elementary Middle School.
What if it was a gun? It could have been a mass shooting.
The student accused of the violent attack was arrested along with her mother. Detroit Public Schools Community District says the parent got through security and metal detectors with a knife and handed it to the child. The security guard on duty has been suspended. Timothy Clark has 2 children who go to Gompers Elementary.
The only reason this
Let's see what Timothy got to say.
happened is because the security guard allowed the mother to go into school with the knife. After the security, I know it worked because I go up there to pick up my kids, and if I got so much as a belt buckle on, or even this thing right here on my wrist, it beeps.
During a virtual meeting with parents last week, the district superintendent
We got to have metal detectors just to go into school now.
Dr. Nikolai Vitti told parents, quote, safety protocols were not implemented the way they should have been. Moving forward, Dr. Vitti says there will be a full-time police officer, 3 security guards, increased monitoring around metal detectors, and additional central office staff on campus.
Imagine you need all this just to go to... I don't even know what's going on, y'all. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to save my commentary because we're on sort of a time crunch. And we got at least... I got this one too. But you know what? We're not even going to get to it because 23 seconds we can do it, actually. Let's do it real quick. 2 teens recover after being struck by a car in Bay Ridge.
2 teenagers are hurt, one critically, after getting hit by an out-of-control car in Brooklyn yesterday afternoon. Police say they were hit when an 18-year-old driver slammed into another car on Narrows Avenue. This is in Bay Ridge. The driver then struck several other parked cars before hitting the 2 16-year-old female pedestrians. They were rushed to the hospital. Both drivers were taken to the hospital to be treated. Tonight, a teen...
I don't even know if this was a crime, to be honest, but the kid that was driving struck multiple other vehicles, so it might have been another road rage incident. We'll have to get a follow-up to this one. So what I'll do is I'll follow up on this because I don't have all the facts, so I don't want to say exactly what's going on with this, but it just adds to the growing list and the snowball effect that is what's going on with teenage crime. Let's look at a few more, and then we gotta go to our positive story to close out. So if the students aren't trying to take themselves out, then we have officers that are driving recklessly through the streets, although did have his emergency lights on. But when you see a school bus, your antennas and your flag should go up and say, you know what? Let me be a little more cautious at this time as far as the way that I'm driving, even though I am an officer and the road should be mine. When I have my actual emergency lights on, well, the bus driver doesn't see it that way, and neither do the kids. So now we have a close call. Let's check it out.
Only on 13, a close call caught on camera. Watch as this student is nearly hit by a passing HPD cruiser after getting off an Alief ISD bus.
As you can see, the flashing lights and stop signs on that bus were not activated.
That's what I was going to say.
Raising questions about...
That's on the school bus driver, ain't it? I mean, the cop, this is a tough one. This one's a tough one because the school bus driver was wrong. And I guess that, yeah, because as a school bus driver, you have to manually, you know, put the stop sign out and put all your lights on, and so everybody understands that there's a kid that'll be crossing the street. My natural tendency when I see a school bus stopped is to just slow down automatically, even if I don't see, if it's stopped in an odd position, like in the middle of the block or something. And I actually just had this happen 2 days ago. It was early in the morning and I was a little bit late. So, you know, I'm kind of driving a little bit quicker. But, you know, but I see a school bus and it's just stopped there. It didn't have the emergency stop sign on. And I seen that. And my natural instinct was just to slow down because I always see that stop sign no matter what when I see a school bus stopped and it's not at like a stop sign or something, or it's anywhere in the middle of the block or anything like that. It just naturally tells me to basically start to yield and slow down and see what's going on, and slowly progress past it just to make sure, because kids will make strange decisions. And this kid actually was smart enough to bounce back and had the awareness.
Safety protocols.
Look, the kid had the awareness. The kid stepped out and was like, whoa, 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 let me pull back. So shout out to the kid for having awareness, and the parents that were like, yo, make sure you look both ways and always be defensive when you're out on the road because you're not going to win against a vehicle. And so I can't really place blame on either one. I guess it starts with the school bus not activating its stop sign and lights when it let the kids out, which they'll probably get in trouble for that. But then also, you know, I think the officers have to realize that a school bus is stopped in an unnatural place. So at minimum, you might want to slow down and begin to try to see what's going on, as far as what the school bus has. You know, maybe the stop sign wasn't operable or something. So this kind of goes for both of them. And yeah, but good job on the student to realize what was going on and be able to get out of the way in time. So yeah, that was a little bit strange. Not exactly perfectly on pace, but we'll end with this one. We had a 10-year-old girl followed and robbed of her chain. Like, what are we doing? I doubt it's even real.
News exclusive. A walk to school ends in frightening fashion for a 10-year-old girl. A man followed her, then robbed her of her chain.
Luckily, she managed to get away safely. She and her family sat down with Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly.
She got away
Richardson.
safe, but got robbed.
I know that's him because of the pants and the bag.
A man Zoe has never seen before and hasn't seen since. But the 10-year-old has this message to the stranger in a story you'll only see here on Eyewitness News.
Why would you do that? That's bad. You should go to jail for that.
Police want to track down the suspect and need the public's help. Zoe was
What a
alone when she
loser.
left home and headed to school Thursday morning around 7:30 here in the East Tremont section of the Bronx. But when she got in this area on East 176th Street, she sensed something was wrong and did what her parents taught her.
I see this man following me, so I moved to one side, and then he went with me to the other side. So I walked faster.
The middle schooler was hoping he'd go away, but he didn't. He got in front of her.
He said, "Give me that goddamn chain," and he took my chain.
Did he snatch it off?
Didn't you threaten her too?
He snatched it off.
Even now, there are markings on her neck. Zoe tells me she only wore the gold chain with her initial as a pendant on special occasions. She had gone to a baby
thing's kinda
shower
iced
last
out.
weekend and forgot to take it off. A necklace she got just a few years ago.
My uncle and
Oh,
my
that
dad
thing's
gave it
real.
to me for my birthday.
Zoe
Yeah.
will never forget the slap. The suspect also took her school ID. Her mom is furious someone would target her little girl.
I don't know what I would say to him, but I would definitely smack him the way he smacked my daughter.
Zoe tells me she had been pushing her parents to let her make the short 3-minute walk to school alone. That day she did. Her grandfather is now taking her. As for the suspect, Zoe's dad tells me police better catch him before he does. In the Bronx,
Yeah. And if the police catch him, he better be put in jail for a minimum of like 50 years. Look, my thing is this, man. I don't give a damn if you want to be a criminal, you leave kids out of it. Anything you have going on, if you start to involve children in it, I have no remorse for you whatsoever. Kids are off of limits. Now, we've been looking at this and we've been saying, well, what about when the kids are committing crimes against themselves? And we're seeing these teenager on teenager crimes. We got a grown man that decided to rob a 10-year-old girl of her chain. I mean, how low and disgusting do you have to be? The elderly and the kids are off limits, right? And I mean, it's just like, and I want to commend this young girl. You can absolutely tell that she's very, very smart. She actually is a very strange case in a way that she's not like crying and like frantic, but she actually handles this the most. I've seen adult women, adult males that'll have this happen. And it'll be like emotional abuse, and I don't even know, I can't sleep, and I need a mental health therapist, and it's just so hard, and I can't believe it. I'm scared to go to sleep at night. And not saying this girl isn't affected by this, but I think she's affected in the right way. I think she's just gonna understand how to move better, how to be more aware of her surroundings, how to calculate her movements a lot better. Obviously, her grandfather's taking her to school now, and I'm pretty sure he got the blicky on him. So if that dude, like, it ain't gonna happen again. But I really like the way that this girl handled herself, how she communicated all of this. And I just really want to give her a shout out for being strong through this whole situation at her age. At 10 years old is insane. She's ahead of her time from a mental standpoint. And I'll tell you that there are grown people that can't handle themselves the way that she did. So shout out to her. And wow, that guy needs to absolutely be put in prison for an extended period of time. And we're going to follow up on this too. If I can get any follow up on it, I want to see what happens when they catch that guy, because he will be caught. They got a good enough image to where they can find this guy if they want to. I guarantee if he did something that everybody would care about, like he tried to assassinate a political figure or something, he'd have been caught within like 15 minutes. So there's absolutely no reason why this guy shouldn't be caught and tried to the full extent of the law. And but hopefully the dad can catch him before. Well, actually, I'll leave that. All right, we got to get to the warm story, and then we're going to have to get out of here. Let me make sure I got it, though. Where'd I put it at? Let me check real quick. Should have it somewhere. You know what? Let me do it like this. Oh, I got it right here. Yeah. Yep, I got it right here. We'll just pull that up. All right. We're going to end out on this one. No, we got to go here. No, we'll just take that out. We're just going to remove this altogether. Yeah. Actually, I can do it like this. Quick video.
This morning's Wild Florida. What's that age-old joke? Why did the tortoise cross the road? Well, this rogue reptile is about to go out for a sunny Saturday stroll in Deerfield Beach. While he was having a great time, some people, they were a bit concerned. Cell phone video sent in to Local 10 by a viewer shows a group of Good Samaritans working to help the not-so-little guy cross the road. With the help of a makeshift barrier and some new human friends, that tortoise made its way to safety.
And the tortoise made its way to safety.
It's
and if
Saturday
you look
stroll
right
in
here,
Deerfield Beach.
I just want to get a good visual.
Local 10 group of Good Samaritans.
Yeah, let's get a visual right there. This is what these children can end up becoming. They can end up becoming good people and helping out this tortoise that was just trying to cross the road. They absolutely blocked off traffic and threw themselves out there to make sure that that tortoise was not run over and destroyed. And the Ninja Turtles would absolutely be proud of her. Master Splinter, the whole crew. April O'Neil would definitely try to get an interview with these people. And, actually, April, I'm going to need you to reach out to these, it looks like at least 4 girls right here, 4 young women, and go ahead and get an interview with them and maybe even give them a meet and greet with the Ninja Turtles so they can get an opportunity to be praised for their work. And with that, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best audience on the internet. It's not even close. And we don't got our outro song. So, you know what, tomorrow, though, I might give y'all a treat on the songs coming in or out. But for now, I got to go. Oh, sorry. I got to... sorry, I just gotta, okay. coming on to. Nah, we're always gonna get the mission accomplished, no matter what. No matter what, Lola, the mission is gonna get accomplished. I appreciate you for being here. And then, lovely. That is very disgusting what's going on after kids. No wonder we can't let our kids be outside by themselves anymore. And I see it a lot more. I absolutely see it a lot more where parents are nervous to let their kids be outside on their own. And I'm kind of the thing where I basically roam the streets with no supervision, basically my whole youth. But I understand why now it's a little more, why we're a lot more protective of the kids, and it makes a lot of sense. I appreciate y'all so much. I will be back tomorrow, without a doubt. DotSale is out. Peace.